What's the greatest thing that has happened for you since you've been on The Voice? That's a no-brainer, right? I met my fiance here.
Did somebody say fashion?
When Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton first met as judges on The Voice, nobody could have predicted the whirlwind romance that would follow. Two stars from completely different worlds, one a California rock-pop icon, the other a country music superstar, found themselves drawn together by heartbreak, timing, and fate. For years, their relationship played out in the public eye, yet behind the cameras, away from the carefully curated interviews, Gwen Stefani carried a truth she never fully revealed, until now. In a rare and emotional confession, Gwen admitted that there are moments in her relationship with Blake Shelton that nobody ever knew about. She wasn't just talking about their love story, but about the hidden pain, the struggles, and the extraordinary way Blake stepped into her life at the exact moment she needed someone the most. To this day, her words continue to shock fans who thought they knew everything about music's most unexpected power couple. What really happened between Gwen and Blake behind the spotlight? What is the secret she finally chose to reveal after years of silence? And how does it reshape the story of two people who, despite fame, heartbreak, and public scrutiny, managed to build something real? This is the side of Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton that the world never saw, until Gwen finally broke her silence. When Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton first crossed paths on The Voice, neither of them was looking for love. Both were in the middle of personal storms that had left them shattered in different ways. Gwen was reeling from the collapse of her marriage to Gavin Rossdale, a relationship that had defined much of her adult life. The betrayal she experienced shook her confidence, leaving her questioning not only her marriage, but her own judgment. Blake, at the very same time, was nursing wounds from his high-profile divorce from Miranda Lambert. The tabloids had a field day with their heartbreaks, and both artists faced the challenge of rebuilding their lives under constant public scrutiny. On the surface, Gwen and Blake seemed like complete opposites. She was the edgy frontwoman of No Doubt, a fashion icon with punk roots and a pop sensibility that resonated across generations. Blake, on the other hand, was a down-to-earth country singer from Oklahoma, celebrated for his humor, charm, and Southern authenticity. Yet, as the cameras rolled on The Voice, their banter became more than just entertainment. Viewers noticed a spark, though at first both denied there was anything deeper than friendship. Behind the scenes, however, a bond was forming. Gwen has since revealed that she and Blake began confiding in each other about their heartbreaks, often during long filming days when the cameras weren't rolling. They shared stories of betrayal, loneliness, and the fear of starting over. This honesty built a foundation of trust, and what started as mutual support slowly turned into something neither expected: romance. Gwen admitted that she found comfort in Blake's ability to make her laugh at a time when joy felt impossible. He, in turn, admired her resilience and the strength she showed in the face of heartbreak. The public first caught wind of their relationship in 2015, and the news was met with skepticism. Many critics called it a publicity stunt, assuming the pair were simply trying to distract from their divorces. But Gwen and Blake ignored the noise. "We were both so broken," Gwen later confessed, "but somehow we started healing each other." For her, Blake represented safety and sincerity, something she hadn't felt in years. One of the most surprising things Gwen later revealed was how seamlessly Blake integrated into her family life. As a single mother of 3 boys, Gwen had been protective about who she allowed into their world. Yet Blake not only embraced her children but became a father figure to them in ways she never imagined. She explained that watching him play with her sons, teaching them country traditions like fishing and outdoor life, showed her a side of Blake the world rarely saw. This wasn't about celebrity or fame. This was about a man stepping into a fatherly role with no hesitation. At the time, Gwen kept much of this private, fearing the public would twist the narrative or accuse her of moving too quickly. But years later, she admitted that Blake had been her anchor during one of the darkest times of her life. It wasn't just about romance. It was about survival, healing, and finding someone who loved her not for the image she presented, but for the woman she truly was. What nobody knew until Gwen finally spoke about it was just how deeply Blake had influenced her healing process. While the world saw a glamorous couple smiling on red carpets and laughing on television, behind closed doors, Gwen leaned on Blake in ways that went far beyond what fans imagined. To her, he wasn't just a partner, he was a lifeline. For years, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton's relationship was celebrated as one of Hollywood's sweetest love stories. Fans saw the photos, the award show appearances, and the charming banter on The Voice. But what they didn't see was the part of their relationship Gwen deliberately kept hidden, an intimate truth that, in her own words, nobody ever knew. When she finally opened up about it, her revelation stunned even the most devoted fans. According to Gwen, the early stages of her relationship with Blake were filled with a vulnerability she had never experienced before. She admitted that while the public thought she appeared strong, inside she was terrified of opening her heart again. After her painful divorce from Gavin Rossdale, she carried deep scars, fearing that love would once again end in heartbreak. Blake, who was also recovering from his own failed marriage, understood her fears. Yet what Gwen revealed years later was that it was Blake's patience, his quiet, steady devotion, that convinced her to trust again. The secret she kept was just how broken she had been before Blake came along. She described nights when she would cry herself to sleep, overwhelmed by the weight of single motherhood and the pressure of maintaining her career while shielding her children from the chaos of her personal life. What the world didn't know was that Blake was the one who stayed on the phone with her during those moments, talking her through the loneliness, reminding her that she wasn't alone. "He became my safe place," she explained. And for a long time, nobody knew that. Her confession also shed light on Blake's role as more than just a boyfriend or later husband. He became a stabilizing force for her family. Gwen finally revealed how Blake quietly stepped into the role of father figure for her 3 sons at a time when they desperately needed stability. She admitted that seeing her children bond with Blake was what truly sealed her love for him. While fans saw cute Instagram posts and playful interviews, what they didn't know was that Blake had been helping with school pickups, family dinners, and bedtime routines. "He never made me feel like I had to do this on my own," Gwen shared. Perhaps the most striking part of her revelation was how she described Blake's ability to bring faith back into her life. Gwen, who has always been open about her spirituality, admitted that she had drifted away from her beliefs during her divorce. The pain and betrayal had left her questioning everything. But it was Blake, with his quiet and grounded nature, who reminded her of the importance of faith and family. "He saved me in more ways than I can explain," Gwen confessed. This was the side of Blake Shelton that fans never saw. The man who wasn't just a country superstar, but a partner who carried Gwen through her most difficult moments. By finally revealing this truth, Gwen showed that her love story with Blake wasn't just about celebrity glamour or red carpet romance. It was about resilience, healing, and choosing love even when it seemed impossible. Her words added a new depth to their relationship. To the outside world, they looked like a power couple. But to Gwen, Blake was something much more personal, a reminder that love can arrive when you least expect it. And sometimes it's the person you never imagined who helps put your life back together. Falling in love is never simple. But for Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, doing it under the harsh glare of the public eye made every step of their journey more complicated. From the moment their relationship went public in 2015, the couple found themselves on magazine covers, trending across social media, and the subject of endless speculation. For many fans, the pairing was unexpected. After all, Gwen was a California punk pop princess, while Blake was a country boy from Oklahoma. The cultural clash became a talking point, with skeptics questioning whether their relationship was real or simply a carefully timed publicity stunt to distract from their divorces. But Gwen would later explain that the scrutiny only strengthened their bond. They had already weathered heartbreaks, and they weren't about to let outsiders dictate their happiness. Still, the pressure was undeniable. Every gesture, every appearance together was dissected by tabloids, and false rumors often overshadowed their real story. Gwen admitted in an interview that one of the hardest parts was trying to protect her children from the chaos of public curiosity. The paparazzi followed them everywhere, and she feared that her boys would grow up resenting the fame that came with her career, and now Blake's. What helped them endure was their shared sense of humor. Gwen often said that Blake's ability to laugh through the madness was what kept her grounded. Behind the cameras, he teased her, lifted her spirits, and reminded her not to take the gossip too seriously. Blake, for his part, often credited Gwen with bringing light and creativity into his life. Their differences, rather than being a weakness, became a strength. They balanced each other in ways fans didn't fully understand. Their careers also intersected in ways that added new challenges. As co-stars on The Voice, they had to navigate their romance while maintaining professionalism on set. Producers worried at first that their relationship might create tension or awkwardness, but instead, it boosted ratings and gave fans a glimpse of their chemistry. Yet Gwen later revealed that being on the show together wasn't always easy. The competition format meant they sometimes clashed as coaches, and while the banter seemed playful on TV, behind the scenes, it occasionally led to real disagreements. Learning how to separate work from their personal lives was a constant balancing act. Another layer of complexity came from their vastly different lifestyles. Gwen, with her roots in Southern California, was used to a fast-paced, fashion-forward world. Blake, on the other hand, loved the quiet simplicity of his Oklahoma ranch. Gwen revealed that one of the secrets to their relationship was compromise. She embraced country life, learning to enjoy outdoor traditions like fishing and horseback riding, while Blake adapted to her Los Angeles lifestyle, attending glamorous events and diving into her world of fashion and music. These compromises, Gwen admitted, weren't always easy, but they became essential in blending their two lives together. Through it all, Gwen kept much of her private struggle hidden until years later. She confessed that while the world saw a fairy tale romance, she constantly battled the fear that it could all come crashing down. Having endured a devastating divorce, she carried with her the worry that even a love as strong as hers with Blake might not last. But what set this relationship apart, she finally revealed, was Blake's steady reassurance. "He never let me doubt us," she said. Even when the headlines turned nasty or the rumors spread, Blake's unwavering commitment gave her the peace of mind she had long craved. In many ways, their love under the spotlight became a test of resilience. They had to prove, not just to the world but to themselves, that what they shared was real. Years later, Gwen's decision to finally speak about the depth of their bond showed that while fame magnified their relationship, it was never the foundation of it. At its core, their love was built on trust, vulnerability, and a shared determination to rise above the noise. By the time Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton walked down the aisle in July 2021, their love story had already captured the hearts of millions. Fans had watched them navigate heartbreak, scrutiny, and endless rumors, only to emerge stronger each time. Their wedding wasn't the grand Hollywood spectacle many expected. Instead, it was deeply personal, a small ceremony held at Blake's Oklahoma ranch. Gwen later revealed that this choice wasn't just about privacy. It was about grounding their marriage in simplicity, authenticity, and family. The ranch, far away from the flashing cameras of Los Angeles, symbolized the safe space Blake had created for her and her children. For Gwen, this marriage marked more than just a new chapter in her love life. She often described it as a chance to rebuild trust and rediscover faith in love after years of disappointment. "I never thought I would get married again," she admitted in a candid interview. The pain of her first marriage had left her questioning whether lasting love was even possible. Yet Blake's unwavering patience and devotion slowly changed her perspective. By the time she said, "I do," Gwen was no longer the woman weighed down by heartbreak. She was a woman who had found healing through love. Blake's role as a stepfather became another cornerstone of their marriage. Gwen's 3 sons, Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo, were deeply involved in the wedding and had long embraced Blake as part of their family. Gwen revealed that watching Blake interact with her children was one of the most emotional parts of her journey. "He doesn't just love me," she said. "He loves my boys like they're his own." Blake himself often spoke about how much he cherished the role, admitting that while he never imagined being a stepdad, it had become one of the greatest joys of his life. Yet, Gwen's later revelations about her marriage went beyond sweet anecdotes. She admitted that there were struggles even after the wedding. Adjusting to married life while balancing demanding careers wasn't easy. They spent long stretches apart when touring schedules clashed, and the constant media attention sometimes made it difficult to maintain normalcy. But Gwen shared that it was during these challenges that Blake's true character shone. He was never afraid to have hard conversations, never hesitant to put in the work required to keep their relationship strong. For Gwen, this was something new. She had finally found a partner who didn't run from difficulty but faced it with her. Her confession also highlighted the spiritual foundation of their bond. Gwen spoke openly about how faith had become central in their marriage. She credited Blake with encouraging her to reconnect with her beliefs and to lean on them during difficult times. This spiritual connection, she explained, gave them a sense of purpose and stability that went beyond fame and fortune. "It's not just about us," she said. "It's about something bigger." As Gwen reflected on her marriage, she finally revealed a truth that she had kept private for years. Blake had not only been her partner in love, but her partner in survival. She admitted that without him, she wasn't sure she would have found the strength to move forward after her divorce. "He saved me," she confessed, her words carrying the weight of years of silence. It wasn't a statement of dependency, but of gratitude, an acknowledgement of how profoundly Blake had changed her life. Now, years into their marriage, Gwen and Blake continue to defy skeptics. Their love story isn't perfect, but it's real, built on patience, compromise, and a willingness to embrace both joy and hardship. By finally speaking about the private side of their relationship, Gwen gave fans a glimpse of the man behind the country's star persona. The world knew Blake Shelton as a witty, charming performer. But Gwen knew him as something far more extraordinary. The man who helped her heal, rebuild, and believe in love again. For Gwen, sharing this truth wasn't about creating headlines. It was about honoring the journey they had walked together. "To this day," she said, "nobody really knew how much he carried me through." And with that revelation, the public's understanding of their romance shifted from tabloid curiosity to something far more profound, a story of resilience, redemption, and the healing power of love.